so today I'm going to do the mid-year freakout tag, and I have been wanting to do this tag even before I had my Booktube channel, so I'm really glad that I'm able to do this year. And this year so far I have read 42 books, and actually most of them have been rereads, so I haven't read that many new books this year. But still, the ones that I have read have been pretty amazing. So for the first question is the best book that you have read so far, and it has to be Crooked Kingdom. I loved Crooked Kingdom. Last year I read Six of Crows and I loved it, but this one just blew my mind. I loved the characters, I loved the plot. It was just so amazing. I cannot even tell you. I've read some pretty amazing books, but this one definitely stands out. The best sequel that you have read so far, and it's Crooked Kingdom, but besides Crooked Kingdom, it's Obsidio. Obsidio is now probably my second or third favorite book of this year, and this is actually the only book talk that I have ever done because I love this book. I have read this book twice and it came out in March. I reread it immediately, first in physical form and then as an audiobook, and I loved it both times. I love the Illuminate series, and this was the perfect finale, and this book was awesome. A new release that you haven't read but you want to, and it has to be Restore Me. I can't believe that I'm saying that I haven't read Restore Me because it was one of the books that I wanted to read the most. It still hasn't been released as a paperback, and I have the first 3 books in the paperback, and they are just my favorite editions because look at this, they are beautiful and they are so freaking floppy and I love them. So I want all of them to match, but the only book available is the hardcover and a paperback that doesn't match this set, and I will probably just buy the hardcover because I'm tired of waiting because I want to read that so badly. And then my most anticipated release for the second half of this year has to be Queen of Shadows. Like, are you surprised? I'm so excited for that book. I'm rereading all Shadowhunter books in preparation for that one because I'm dying for Queen of Shadows. The first 2 books were amazing, and I'm sure that this finale is going to be even better. My biggest disappointment of this year, it is kind of a tie between 2 books. The first one is The Young Elites. Everyone loves The Young Elites, but I didn't like this book at all. I found it kind of like boring. I didn't like the characters, not only the main characters as is supposed to be like a villain, but I didn't like anyone in this book. I found the magic system, it was just something that I have seen previously in other books. It was nothing special. The writing style was weird, especially because I love Marilu's writing style. I have read like 4 other books by her and I love those, but I don't know why I didn't like this. And the other one, it's Cruel Prince. I have talked about this so many times, but Cruel Prince just made me uncomfortable. I didn't like the world, I didn't like the characters, I didn't understand the plot, and the romance especially just made me very uncomfortable, like I said. But then, on a happier note, my biggest surprise, and it has to be, again, 2 books. First, Blue Lily Lily Blue. If you have seen some of my videos, you may know that The Raven Boys and The Dream Thieves weren't my favorite books. They were like 3/2 stars books for me, but I'm so glad that I continue on with reading this series because this was a 5 out of 5 stars for me. I don't know why, like, the world just clicked for me. I finally started to appreciate Maggie's writing style, which is amazing, and I finally started liking the characters, and I got so invested in this world and in this series. I have read The Raven King, and I also love that one, so I'm so happy that I read this. And the other one is Queens of Geek. I love this book. I wasn't expecting to like this book so much. It was so freaking fun, so sweet. I fell in love with the characters, I fell in love with the plot, the romances were the cutest, and I'm just so in love with this book, and I cannot stop talking about it. Seriously, I've lost count of how many people I told to read this freaking book because it was the cutest. And then my new favorite author, and it has to be Tommy Adeyemi. Again, Children of Blood and Bone, like everyone has been raving about in this year, was freaking amazing. I buddy read this book, and me and the girl that read this book with me, we both loved this so much. It was amazing. Again, I still haven't decided which is my second or my third favorite book of this year, but it's between Children of Blood and Bone and Obsidio, and just this book was brilliant. It was so freaking different from other things that I've been reading about. I'm sure that you know what this book is about. It's like Black Panther, but with magic, and it's so freaking awesome. I love the world, I love the plot, I love the characters. I cannot wait to read more books by Tommy Adeyemi because Children of Blood and Bone was awesome. For these two next questions, I don't really have an answer, and it is newest favorite crush. From the books that I've read this year, there isn't like a character that I have fallen in love. Sure, I loved a ton of characters, like in Queens of Geek, like I told you, or in Children of Blood and Bone. I love them, but no one made my book boyfriends list, so I don't really have an answer for this one. And then for my newest favorite character, again, I've read good characters, but no one really like stands out, and I don't know, I need to read more new books, sorry. And then for a book that made me cry, and it has to be Dear Martin. I read The Age You Gave last year, and I loved it, and I thought that Dear Martin was going to be like very similar, but that book crushed my heart. It was so good. I fell in love. I don't want to spoil anyone if you haven't read the book, but it destroyed me on the inside. Oh, yeah, I did cry a lot in this one. And then for a book that made me happy, Leah on the Offbeat. Like Queens of Geek, those were the cutest books that I've read this year. I loved Leah so freaking much. I have a reading vlog where I read this book, and you can see me smiling every time that I talk about this book. It was so freaking cute. I loved Leah. Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda is one of my favorite books, and this one is like up there with Simon. I cannot choose between those two. This book is just too precious, and everyone needs to read it. And next is my favorite Booktube movie adaptation. I don't really have an answer for this one either, because the movies that I was really excited for, I haven't seen them. Like Love, Simon, Ready Player One. I don't know why. I really wanted to see them, but I love those books so much. So I guess I'm kind of like scared of seeing those movies and being really disappointed, so I haven't seen them. I'm really sorry. Then favorite video that you have made so far in this year, and I don't know. I have done a lot of videos this year. I really like my reading vlogs. I love putting the music and all the clips together, but my video of things that I hate in YA, that video is like not that cringy. I kind of actually like the things that I said in this video, so it is probably that one, or maybe the videos that I made with my friend because they were so fun to make. The most beautiful book that you have bought this year, and I haven't bought that many books this year. Obsidio is a beautiful book, but I really like Far From the Tree, which I just bought. I haven't read it yet, but the cover is so pretty. Like this edition, it's so freaking cute. I think this might be the prettiest book that I have bought so far this year. And then finally, for the last question is, what book do you need to read by the end of the year? Besides the books that still haven't come out, like the new Tahara Mafi book, Kingdom of Ash, and Queen of Air and Darkness, the one that I have on my shelf that I really need to read by the end of this year has to be Game of Thrones. This is the year where I'm going to read Game of Thrones. I'm just scared by this book because it's so freaking tiny and it looks like a Bible. Like the letters are so freaking small and the paper is just so thin and the book is gigantic. It's 800 pages and I'm actually just a tiny bit terrified of it. But I'm going to read it. I have to because I love the TV show and I have to read this series before the last season comes out. And yeah, I guess this completes this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. You can also check out my previous videos, especially the videos that I mentioned in this video, I guess. And yeah, I hope that you can stick around with me, so please subscribe. Bye!